With Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry, with an administration appearing to be on spin cycle tonight. Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Brett. Rare access today to the president and vice president for news photographers, but not reporters, to ask questions about these explosive allegations that are still reverberating.
Great. For the first time in 5 years, President Obama and Vice President Biden today opened up their weekly lunch to cameras, just hours after details leaked from the memoirs of former Defense Secretary Robert Gates, questioning the leadership of the president and blasting the vice president's judgment. Though spokesman Jay Carney insisted the timing was a coincidence. The president was merely responding to photographers demanding more access.
I mean, you can decide for yourselves what you want to believe.
Gates writes, while the president deserves credit for surging 30,000 more troops to Afghanistan, the secretary ultimately concluded the president did not believe in the mission or in his own strategy to win, and was only focused on eventually getting out.
Has allowed our soldiers and Marines and Navy corpsmen to be killed or maimed in a war the president doesn't believe makes sense, or that he doesn't believe he can win. That is as low as any president in our history has gone.
Besides sharply defending the vice president as a trusted advisor amid Gates's claim Biden has gotten every major national security decision wrong for years, Carney insisted the president has had great faith the troops could carry out the mission after inheriting a war that was adrift.
Refocused our mission, made it clear for our troops and civilians in Afghanistan what the mission was about, why we were in Afghanistan, and why it was necessary to be clear that we weren't staying in Afghanistan in a combat mission forever.
Republican Lindsey Graham, who was just in Afghanistan, is skeptical that Mr. Obama is committed to working out a deal to keep at least a small U.S. force to lock in security gains.
He is AWOL when it comes to leadership, and when it comes to Afghanistan, we've got a chance to get that right. He hasn't talked to the Afghan president since July.
Carney noted Mr. Obama briefly exchanged greetings with Afghan President Hamid Karzai at last month's memorial service for Nelson Mandela.
How could the two leaders not talk in months?
Look, the president and President Karzai have had discussions in the past. There's not a lot of mystery about our views on this document.
Allies of the president, meanwhile, are raising questions about a curious passage near the end of the book, where Gates writes the president ended a meeting about Iran by warning if anyone was writing memoirs, he had not made a final decision about the matter. Gates writing, quote, "I was offended by his suspicion that any of us would ever write about such sensitive matters."
Of course, Gates ended up writing about a whole series of sensitive matters, which one top official told me is ironic to say the least. They're expressing shock because these officials say that since Gates ran the CIA, he's always been known for discretion, but he's clearly decided to speak out and speak out loudly. Brett?
Ed Henry live on the North Lawn. Ed, thank you.